Hi, mathematicians. Thanks for joining back in for another math lesson. We are going to start a new unit. It's time and temperature. So you should grab your math book, your student reference guide, your math notes, pencil, eraser. I'm going to share my math book with you just in case you don't have it. But you're definitely going to need something to write on. Okay. So chapter 16 begins on page 221. And as always, it starts off with this little comic strip. So the little boy is saying, "Mom, it is noon and it is hot." And then if you check the clock, you'll see that it's a little bit while later. It looks like it's 2 o'clock. "Mom, it's too warm in here with the windows closed." And then the day progresses on. She says, "Time flies." He says, "That's right, the weather is cool now. I will wear my jacket." And then the last one, if you check the time again, there's the analog clock on the wall, and there's also the digital one. It's 8 o'clock. He says, "We are finally home. It is nice and warm here. I will drink a glass of cold water while catching my 8 o'clock TV show." All right, there's your little intro. I do want to point out there's the big idea that time can be used to tell when activities start and end, or how long an activity will last, and temperature can be used to understand what the weather will be like. You can also see on page 221 that there are several lessons that we're going to be going through. 16.1 is telling time, all the way down to 16.7, which is some real world problems regarding time and temperature. Let's go to page 221 and recall some prior knowledge. You might have learned a little bit about time last year in second grade, but that was a while ago. So let's do a quick little review. The first box says that you can skip count by fives to find minutes. That's very helpful. We've practiced that a lot this year. Knowing that 60 minutes is 1 hour, definitely memorize that. That is super important. And once you memorize that, it doesn't change, which is lovely. Telling time, so AM shows the time after midnight but before noon, and PM shows the time after noon but before midnight. Finding elapsed time, 8 a.m. is 1 hour after 7 a.m. and 7 a.m. is 1 hour before 8 a.m. 10:30 a.m. is 30 minutes or half an hour after 10 a.m. 10:30 a.m. is 30 minutes or half an hour before 11 a.m. Okay, let's keep reading through our prior knowledge. Head over to page 223, reading numbers on a number line. So you can see the arrow points to a 3 on the number lines. You'll see that they'll either go horizontally or vertically. Okay, let's do a quick little check together. I'll give you a few seconds to kind of think of an answer yourself before I share the answer with you. Look at each clock and then decide which number is missing. So number 1, it says the minute hand shows blank minutes after the hour. The minute hand shows blank minutes after the hour. That would be 40 minutes. Remember the longer hand, which on this page is the blue hand, and then the hour hand, that's the shorter one, and it's the red one. Number 2, the minute hand shows blank minutes after the hour. The minute hand shows 25 minutes after the hour. Remember that you can count by fives. So the 1 would be 5, the 2, 10, the 3, 15, the 4 is 20 minutes, and the 5, where the big hand is pointing, is 25 minutes. Number 3, tell the time. check to see first. Wait, remind yourself, which one's the hour hand? The hour hand is the smaller one. The minute hand is the longer one. So number 3, that's 7:50. The big blue one is on the 10, and the 10 represents 50 minutes. Number 4, that time is 12:05. The hour hand is the red one on the 12, and the long blue one is on the 1, which represents 5 minutes. 12:05. Okay, jump down to page 224, number 5. The time is 20 minutes past 7. How would you write that in that digital clock? The time is 20 minutes past 7. That would be 7:20. Number 6, the time is 45 minutes before 10. The time is 45 minutes before 10. That would be 9:15. Okay, number 7 and 8, it says complete the sentences with AM or PM. So remember, AM is generally in the morning time, and PM is afternoon, so usually lunchtime and dinner time. Robin eats breakfast at 7:50. Okay, breakfast, think, is that AM or PM? You said AM, you are on it. Number 8, he eats dinner at 8 He eats dinner at 8. AM or PM? PM, I almost said it. Number 9 through 11 says, find the length of time. 3 p.m. is blank after 2 p.m. 3 p.m. is blank after 2 p.m. That would be 1 hour. Number 10, 4:30 a.m. is blank before 5 a.m. 4:30 a.m. is blank before 5 a.m. That would be 30 minutes. Number 11, noon is blank after 11:30 a.m. Noon is blank after 11:30 a.m. That is 30 minutes. Okay. Turn your page, 16.1, telling time. We've got some vocabulary: hour, minute, past, and to. Our objectives in this lesson are to tell time to the minute and to read time on a digital clock. All right, the first one is an example. It says, learn, tell time to the nearest minute. Each small mark stands for 1 minute, and the minute hand shows 5 minutes. So the little tiny tick marks, each of those little tiny tick marks equals 1 minute, and each of the numbers, between each of the numbers is 5 minutes. That's why it's so helpful and handy to count by fives. Students are in the auditorium at 9:20 a.m. for an assembly. You can also say the time is 20 minutes past 9. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock. The time is 9:20. There's lots of different ways to say that. Next page. Sorry, mine jumped back. 2:26. At 7:40 p.m., a group of people visit the community center for a charity dinner. It is 20 minutes before 8 o'clock, or the time is 7:40. You can also say the time is 20 minutes to 8. And look, this boy showed us that there's 60 minutes, because that's 60 minutes in an hour, minus 40 equals 20. Okay, guided learning. You're going to need to make sure you have your math notebook open so you can write, and a pencil, probably an eraser. Number 1, find the missing numbers. "6:15 is blank minutes past 6. The time is 6:15. It is blank minutes after 6. Okay, hopefully you saw that that is 15 minutes. They even highlighted it in orange, and they gave you that arrow to show that it went from 12 to 3. When you count by fives, that's 15 minutes. We'll do a couple more together, and then I'll let you work on your own and show you the answers. Let's do number 2. Number 2 says 5:45 is blank minutes to 6. The time is 5:45. It is blank minutes before 6. So you'll see that time in white. See how many minutes is that? Count by fives. 15. 5:45 is 15 minutes to 6. Okay, you guys are gonna do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on your own, and then I will show you the answers. So you can go ahead and pause me. Ooh. Sorry, my screen keeps jumping. I don't know if it's jumping on your end, but there you go. Go ahead and pause, and I will show you the answers after you have a chance to work through those. Okay, I'll share with you the answers. Okay, so let's see. In your math book, let's see, we were just on page 227. Go ahead and flip your page to 228. Now there's a math game, and if we were in school, we would definitely be playing this math game. It's called Show and Tell Time. I definitely recommend it. It's a really fun game. The issue is that you need to have a clock, and our clocks are in the classroom. You could possibly make one. Maybe you have one that you can use. If you have a clock and you have permission to use it, definitely grab a person and read through the directions online and spend a little bit of time playing that game. If you don't have a clock that you have movable hands that you can play with, or gently borrow, I totally understand. That's okay. We're going to move on to the let's practice. So let me share my screen again so we can see where we're at here. You guys just did that. There was the game that I was talking about if you've got a clock to use. And here's the let's practice. You will complete number 1 through 10. You don't need to write all of the words out. You just need to write your answers like you would in the green box. I mean, you can't write in your book, but the answers that would go in the green box would go in your math notebook. And then there is homework pages. There are homework pages, and that is page 143 to 146. That's in your math workbook. Now would be a good time to pause me because I'm going to show answers to the let's practice and to the math workbook pages. So you guys got this. Time and temperature. Tell yourself you've got it, even if you don't, just because it's the first lesson. We're just getting warmed up. All right, you got it. Here we go. Here are the answers to the let's practice. And let me flip over and show you the answers to the homework. I'll show up top first. All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time for 16.2.